As someone who has lived through many moons, will share with you what I've learned over the years and what doctors tell us. Let's go through this calmly and lovingly, because each of us deserves a good night's sleep. 1. What doctors tell us. With all care, you know, my friends. Doctors are always concerned about us, especially when it comes to getting up at night. They warn us, with that attentive manner, about the risks we run when getting out of bed in the middle of the night. And it's not for nothing. I remember when I was younger and jumped out of bed without thinking twice. Oh, how I miss that agility. But now, doctors have explained to me that our bodies need more care. They say that when we get up too quickly, our blood pressure can go haywire. It's as if our heart gets confused, you know. Once, Mrs. Johnson, my neighbor, jumped up to answer the phone in the middle of the night. Poor thing, she got so dizzy she almost fell. That's when I understood what doctors were talking about regarding these cardiovascular risks. It's our little heart asking us to take it easy. Doctors also tell us that our blood pressure can be like a roller coaster during the night. One moment it's up high, the next down low. That's why they ask us to be extra careful. It's as if we were dancing a slow waltz with our health, you understand. 2. Why do we wake up so much? My dears, how many times have I found myself staring at the ceiling in the middle of the night, right? And it's not for lack of sleep. There are several reasons why we wake up, and over time I've learned about them. Sometimes it's that worry that doesn't want to go away. I remember when my grandson was going to take an important test at school. I was so anxious for him that I woke up every hour. It's what doctors call emotional factors. Our head gets so agitated that it doesn't even let the body rest properly. Another thing I learned is about what we eat before going to bed. There was a time when I loved having a bowl of bean soup before bed. How delicious, but my goodness, how I woke up to go to the bathroom. Doctors explained to me that eating too close to bedtime can make us wake up more. It's as if the stomach was having a party while we try to sleep. And there's more. As we become more experienced in life, our body changes. Some of us may have kidney problems, others have diabetes, and men sometimes have that prostate issue. All of this can make us need to go to the bathroom more often during the night. I myself, after discovering a little kidney problem, started waking up more. But don't worry, there's a solution for everything. 3. How to get up without causing confusion in the body. Now let's talk about something very important, how to get out of bed without causing a ruckus in our body. It's as if we were teaching our body to dance to a very slow and pleasant song. First, no jumping out of bed as if we were teenagers. Oh, how I loved doing that. But now, we need to take it easy. When you feel the need to get up, start by moving your toes, then your legs, slowly. It's as if you were waking up each little part of your body. Then sit on the bed for a few minutes, take a deep breath, count to 10 if you need to. Only then put your feet on the floor. It seems silly, but it makes all the difference. I remember when I started doing this. At first, I thought I was wasting time, but soon I realized that I felt much better. Another important thing is to stay warm. Our body doesn't like sudden temperature changes, you know. That's why I always keep a robe or a little jacket near the bed. So Keeson, when I need to get up, I bundle up right away. It's like giving yourself a hug. And there's one more little thing I learned over time. No drinking cold water when you get up at night. Once, I woke up very thirsty and drank a glass of ice-cold water. Oh my, what a mistake. My stomach got all upset. Doctors explained to me that cold water can shock our stomach and even harm our kidneys. Now, I always keep a little cup with room temperature water on the nightstand. 4. How to avoid waking up all the time. You know, my dears, over time we learn some little tricks to sleep better. It's as if we were preparing a cozy nest for our sleep. One thing that changed my life was controlling the amount of water I drink at night. Before, I loved to drink a lot of tea before bed. Result? I spent the whole night going to the bathroom. Now, I try to drink more water during the day and gradually decrease as the night approaches. Of course, without overdoing it, we need to stay hydrated, but with balance. Another thing I learned is the importance of having a bedtime routine. It's as if we were teaching our body that it's time to rest. I like to go to bed at the same time, around 10 p.m. At first, it was difficult, I confess. But now, My body already knows that when that little hour comes, it's time to relax. And speaking of relaxing, I discovered that what we eat before bed makes all the difference. I remember when I used to love eating that heavy stew for dinner. How delicious! But boy, how difficult it was to sleep afterwards. Now, I prefer lighter things at night. A little soup, a yogurt, a fruit, things that don't weigh on the stomach, you know. And if that little hunger hits before bed, an apple or a banana can be great options. Oh, and there's that story about electronic devices, right? My grandson is always telling me about it. At first, I thought it was nonsense. I loved watching my little soap opera before bed. But you know what? He was right. When I started turning off the TV a little earlier and reading a book, I noticed that I slept much better. It's as if we gave our head a little time to calm down before sleep. And if even with all this you still have difficulty sleeping, don't hesitate to talk to your doctor. Sometimes a little medication might be needed to help. I myself, because of high blood pressure, take a medicine that helps me sleep better. But remember, only with medical guidance, okay? 5. Thinking well about all this. Look, my dears, taking care of our sleep is taking care of our life. It's as if we were giving ourselves a little love every night. The more we understand our body, the easier it becomes to deal with these changes that age brings. The important thing is not to be afraid to ask for help or to make changes in our habits. Every little thing we improve in our sleep routine is a step towards a healthier and happier life. It's like planting a little seed of well-being every day, and don't forget, each of us is unique. What works for me may not work for you, and that's okay. The important thing is to keep discovering what's good for your body and mind. It's a journey of self-discovery, you know? 6. Be careful with quick movements. Ah, my friends, how important it is to talk about this. You know, when we're younger, we think we can do everything in the blink of an eye. But as time passes, our body asks for a little more care, especially when we get up. I remember once, right after I retired, I was so used to getting up quickly to go to work that I continued with the same habit. On one of those mornings, I got up in a jump and, wow, I got so dizzy that I had to hold onto the dresser. It was quite a scare. Doctors explained to me that when we get up too quickly, our body's blood pressure can suddenly drop. It's as if the blood takes a little while to reach the head. Result: we can get dizzy, see little lights, and in more serious cases, even faint. And that's not all. This quick up and down of pressure isn't good for our heart. It's as if we were giving it a fright every time we get up suddenly. Over time, this can be not so good for our little heart's health. That's why I learned to get up slowly. First, I move my toes, then my legs. I sit on the bed for a few minutes before standing up. It seems like I'm doing a very slow dance, but it's the right way to take care of our body. 7. Watch out for temperature. Have you noticed how our body gets warm under the covers? It's delightful, isn't it? But when we need to get up in the middle of the night, this temperature change can be a little problem. Once, on a very cold night, I got up to go to the bathroom just in my nightgown. Oh my, what a mistake. I felt such a strong chill that I got all stiff. That's when I understood what doctors say about sudden temperature changes. When we go from the warmth of the bed to the cold of the room, our body gets a shock. It's as if the blood vessels get confused, not knowing whether to open or close. This can affect our circulation and, again, our blood pressure. After that day, I always started keeping a robe or a little jacket near the bed, so when I need to get up, I bundle up right away. It's like giving myself a hug before getting out of bed. And it's not just the cold that can be a problem. In summer, sometimes we turn the air conditioning on very strong. Then, when we get up, the body finds that artificial coolness strange. That's why it's good to keep a pleasant temperature in the room, neither too hot nor too cold. 8. Be careful with what you eat before bed. Food. How delicious a hearty dinner is, isn't it? But when it comes to sleeping well, we need to be a little careful with what we put on our plate at night. I remember when I loved to make that big plate of pasta with well-seasoned sauce before bed. How delicious! But, my goodness, how difficult it was to fall asleep afterwards. I kept tossing and turning in bed, with that heavy feeling in my stomach. Doctors explained to me that eating heavy or very spicy foods before bed can cause havoc in our digestion. It's as if the stomach was working overtime while we try to rest. And it's not just the stomach that gets agitated. Very fatty or salty foods can make us feel thirsty during the night. Result: more trips to the bathroom and less peaceful sleep. I learned that it's best to have a light meal at night. A little soup, a yogurt with fruits, a piece of cheese with whole grain bread. Things that don't weigh on the stomach, you know. And if that little hunger hits before bed, an apple or a banana can be great options. Another important thing is the dinner time. I try to have dinner at least 2 hours before going to bed. This way, I give time for the body to digest properly before sleep comes. 9. Controlling bathroom trips. My dears, let's talk about an issue that many of us face, that urge to pee in the middle of the night. It's annoying, isn't it? But it's something that happens to a lot of people, especially as we get more experienced in life. I myself went through this. There was a time when I would wake up 3, 4 times a night to go to the bathroom. At first, I thought it was normal for my age, but after talking to my doctor, I discovered that it could be a sign that something wasn't quite right. For some of us, this frequent urge to urinate can be because of diabetes. It's as if the sugar in the blood was having a party and calling the body's water to dance along. Result: more pee. For others, it might be the kidneys asking for a little more attention. They're like the filters of our body, you know, and sometimes they need a little help to work better. What I learned is that controlling blood sugar, for those who have diabetes, can help a lot in reducing these nighttime trips to the bathroom. It's like calming down that sugar party in the body. And for all of us, it's important to pay attention to the amount of liquid we drink, especially at night. Not that we should be thirsty, but maybe it's better to drink more water during the day and decrease as night approaches. Another little thing that helped a lot was doing exercises to strengthen those muscles down there, you know? My doctor calls them Kegel exercises. At first, I was embarrassed just thinking about it, but look, it makes quite a difference. 10. Our emotions and sleep. You know, my dears, there are nights when we lie in bed and it seems like our head won't stop working, right? Sometimes it's worries, other times it's that anxiety about something good that's going to happen. Whatever it is, our emotions can really mess with our sleep. I remember when my granddaughter was getting married. What joy, but also what anxiety. In the weeks before the wedding, I could hardly close an eye. I kept thinking about the details, imagining how the big day would be. It was good excitement, but it still disturbed my sleep. And it's not just with good things that this happens. When we're worried or stressed, it seems like sleep runs away from us, doesn't it? Once, when my son was having problems at work, I spent sleepless nights thinking about how I could help him. What I learned over time is that we need to find ways to calm our mind before bed. It's as if we were preparing a quiet nest for sleep to arrive. One thing that helped me a lot was starting to listen to calm music before bed. No agitated rock, okay? Laughs. I prefer those soft songs, sometimes even nature sounds. It's like a caress for the ears. Another thing I discovered was the power of breathing. It seems simple, but doing some deep breaths before sleeping can work wonders. I close my eyes, breathe in deeply, counting to 4, hold it a little, and then release slowly. I do this a few times, and I feel my whole body relaxing. I also started writing in a diary before bed. Nothing too complicated. I just note down the good things that happened during the day, things I'm grateful for. This helps to put my head in the right place and have more positive thoughts before sleeping. And you know what else? I learned that there's no use fighting with insomnia. If sleep doesn't come after about 20 minutes, I get up, go to another room, read a little or do something quiet until sleep comes. It's better than rolling around in bed, don't you think? 11. When we need a little extra help. My dears, sometimes, even when we're doing everything right, sleep insists on not coming as we'd like. And that's okay. We don't need to feel bad about it. It's in these moments that a good doctor can be our best friend. I remember a time when, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't sleep properly. I would wake up several times during the night and feel tired during the day. At first, I thought it was just a phase. But when I saw that it was affecting my quality of life, I decided to seek help. I went to talk to my doctor, the same one who's been taking care of me for years and knows me so well. He listened to me carefully, asked several questions about my habits, and even ordered some tests. That's when we discovered that my sleep problem was linked to a change in my thyroid. Who would have thought? Right. The doctor explained to me that many things can affect our sleep, from hormonal problems to side effects of medications we take for other reasons. That's why this frank conversation with the healthcare professional is so important. In some cases, the doctor may recommend medications to help with sleep. That's what happened to me for a little while. I confess that at first, I was a bit apprehensive. Would I become dependent? Would there be side effects? But the doctor explained to me carefully how to use it, for how long, and closely monitored my progress. The important thing to remember is that these sleeping pills are not a magic solution and should not be used without guidance. It's as if they were a crutch. They help us for a while we work to solve the cause of the problem. Along with the medicine, the doctor gave me several tips on sleep hygiene. Some I already knew, others were new. And you know what I realized? That taking care of sleep is taking care of health as a whole. It's looking at our diet, our routine, our emotions. Everything is connected. 12. A lighted path to the bathroom. My friends, let's talk about a subject that seems simple, but makes all the difference. Lighting when we need to get up at night. You know that story about walking in the dark so as not to scare away sleep? Well, I discovered that this can be more dangerous than we imagine. Once, right after I moved to my current house, I woke up in the middle of the night needing to go to the bathroom. To not disturb my husband, I tried to go in the dark. What a scare. I hit my little toe on the corner of the dresser and almost fell. That's when I realized I needed to rethink this story of walking in the dark. Doctors explained to me that as we age, our night vision gets a little less sharp. Besides, that dizziness we sometimes feel when getting up can get worse if we can't see clearly where we're going. It's like trying to dance a waltz with your eyes closed, you know? So, what to do? The solution I found was to install some very soft lights on the way to the bathroom. They're those LED lights that stay close to the floor, you know. They illuminate enough for me to see where I step, but they're not so strong as to make me fully awake. Another thing that helped a lot was putting some non-slip strips on the bathroom floor. Because, you know, wet floors and bare feet can be a dangerous combination. And you know what else? I discovered these lamps that turn on with just a little touch. I put one of these next to the bed, so when I need to get up, I'm not fumbling in the dark looking for the switch. The important thing is to find a balance, enough light to walk safely, but not so strong that it disturbs sleep afterwards. It's like creating a safe and illuminated little path for our nighttime wanderings. Concluding our conversation. My dears, look at how much important stuff we've talked about. Taking care of our sleep is taking care of our life, our health, and our happiness. Every little thing we learn and put into practice is a step towards more peaceful nights and more energetic days. Always remember, we're not alone on this journey. We have our doctors, our family members, and each other to exchange experiences and support. If something isn't working well, don't hesitate to ask for help or make changes. The most beautiful thing about all this is realizing how wise our body is. It gives us signs, teaches us every day. And we, with our life experience, are learning to listen to it and treat it with care. How about we start taking better care of our sleep today? Maybe try a relaxing little song before bed, or leave that room temperature glass of water next to the bed. Small gestures that can make a big difference. And remember, each of us is unique. What works for me may not work for you, and that's okay. The important thing is that we keep discovering, with patience and love, what's good for our body and our mind. May we all have peaceful nights and days full of energy. After all, we still have a lot to live, learn, and share on this wonderful journey that is life. Good night, my dears. May your dreams be sweet and your awakening full of joy. 13. The importance of a comfortable bed. You know, my friends, we spend about 1/3 of our lives in bed. That's a lot of time, isn't it? So it's worth making sure our bed is as comfortable as possible. I remember when Tom and I first got married. We were young and thought any old mattress would do, Oh, how wrong we were. We'd wake up with aches and pains, tossing and turning all night. It wasn't until our 10th anniversary that we splurged on a good quality mattress. What a difference it made. Doctors say that a good mattress should support our body in a neutral position. That means our spine should be aligned, just like when we're standing with good posture. It's not about being super firm or super soft. It's about finding what works for you. And let's not forget about pillows. I used to think one pillow was as good as another, but boy, was I mistaken. The right pillow can make a world of difference. It should support your head and neck, keeping them aligned with your spine. I found that memory foam pillows work wonders for me, but everyone's different. Another thing I've learned is the importance of changing our sheets regularly. There's nothing quite like the feeling of slipping into a freshly made bed with clean, crisp sheets. I try to change mine once a week. Not only does it feel nice, but it's also better for our health. Dust mites and other allergens can build up in our bedding, which isn't good for our breathing or our skin. And speaking of bedding, pay attention to the fabric of your sheets and blankets. Some people swear by cotton for its breathability, while others prefer the silky feel of satin. I personally love flannel sheets in the winter. They're so cozy and warm. Temperature is important too. Most sleep experts say a slightly cool room is best for sleeping. I keep my bedroom around 65 degrees Fahrenheit. It might seem a bit chilly when you first get in bed, but once you're under the covers, it's just right.